Hey, hello, how are you guys? How are you? How are you? How are you doing? For some reason, can can you see me now? Can you hear me well? Yes, yes. Okay, okay. All right, thank you guys. Yeah, for some reason it's delayed on my other device. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. All right, guys. All right, so guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Today, today, guys. Today is a very clean example of what execution actually looks like when it's built on a system, not on emotion. All right. I know some of you took the same trade than me. I know some of you took the same trade, the same opportunities. But what you are about to see is not a good trading day. It's a control session. And there's a difference. A good day, a good day can be random, but a control session is repeatable. And that's the objective of the execution edge system. All right. So today I took two trades. Both were aligned with my system. The first one, clean setup, correct price action, reaction at the right levels. It didn't work immediately. I took my stop loss, no hesitation, no ego, no adjustment. And then nothing. No revenge trading, no forcing, just patience, right? Later in the session, the same opportunity show up again. Same level, same conditions, but most important, same system. And this is where most traders fail because the previous loss is still on their head. But if your process is clear, the previous result is completely irrelevant. So I took the trade again. Calm, no pressure, no need to make it back. Executed partials were planned, and the trade ended up reaching full target. And for being honest, a little bit more. So that, and this is important because that's what a system does, right? It allows you to take the loss clean, stay neutral, and re-execute without any hesitation. Not because you are confident, but because you are structured. All right. So this is not about being right. It's about being consistent in how you operate. What you will see today is not performance, it's process in action. All right. So as we go through the charts, don't focus on the outcome. All right. Focus on the decisions. That's the most important today. All right. And lastly, quick note before we dive in. Next Monday, next Monday, guys, next Monday, I will be announcing something that I have been working on. All right. It's a 2 day intensive focus entirely on performance and execution. All right. I'm not sharing details yet, but if you have been watching these sessions and you know your issue is not a strategy, it's execution, this is going to be very relevant for you. All right. Let's break this down. Well, this is what a system looks like in real time. All right. What it is. All right, guys. So I think first we need to go to the higher time frame. And what's going on with SPY? What's going on with SPY? All right. So what happened yesterday? What happened yesterday? Yesterday evening, we had some news about the war. Guys, independently if you believe it or not, because that has been an issue. I know. You don't need to convince me. If you believe about the news and all that stuff, I mean that's irrelevant now. But the market does, right? The market does. So what we do if news hit the tape? We do nothing, right? We do nothing. We remember, our business is to react to what price is actually doing, and we are not trying to guess anything. Because if you are on the guessing business, guys, go to Las Vegas, go to a casino. It's way more enjoyable than, like just staring to the charts. If you are gambling, please go to a different place. The stock market is not for gamblers. It's super boring. It's super frustrating, and there's actually no fun. There's no fun here. At least at the casino, you can, like, laugh, drink, see other people, talk to other people. But here, it's kind of lonely, right? So, all right. So after the gap up this morning, what has been happening the past days and weeks? And this is a question for the chat, guys. What has been the recipe the last days and weeks? Pre-market, we start pumping, and then what happened, guys? What happened for lunchtime? Please answer in the chat. That has been the recipe for the past, not only days, I think weeks. We pump it on the pre-market, we pump it at the opening, and then by lunchtime, low of the day. Right, low of the day, and it's. I mean, guys, I don't know what to say. If you were reading my trading plan from today, I just told you, guys, everything below 643 for me, it's a flipping opportunity, because price is not ready. I mean, you can see it, right? Like, you can see it, how price has been dropping, and pre-market or after hours come higher, drop, opening, pop, then fade. What happened on the weekend? It started going higher, drop again. What happened today? It tried to go higher, it reclaimed previous day high, it went all the way to this daily gap, to this yellow box, this daily gap, and then what happened? It dropped. Where? Low of the day, guys. If this is new for you, I don't know where you have been the past days, because this has been the daily recipe on SPY, right? People, news, social media, everyone has been calling the bottom, right? So what happened at the opening? People actually bought it, and then they dropped the ball. Today we actually have this candle here, 12:30. Do you know what happened today? We had news. Give me 1 second here, guys. 12:30. Tuesday. I have nothing here. Do you know if Tuesday, a few members of the FOMC members, Goolsby and Barr, I don't know. Do you know news? Okay. War news. Okay, well, this is different, right? But after the war news, do you see what's going on here, guys? It's just pop and fade again, pop and fade again, pop and fade, pop and fade, pop and fade, pop and fade. So this is, if you are following a system, this starts feeling simpler, right? Not easier. I'm not gonna lie, market never feels easy, but sometimes it feels simpler. All right. So what happened today? We actually reclaimed pre-market high and previous day high. But look at this nice reaction here. This is something that I like. Why? Because I was watching this area here. Do you see? Do you see how pre-market was rejecting this 640 area? So, all right, it finally reclaimed previous day high. Finally reclaimed previous day high. For all of you that were looking for, that you were following or looking for calls, I think this is a good opportunity here. This is the break, displacement retest of high of the day, 5-minute opening range, and this 639. Actually, yeah, no, it never hit 639, but it was, you know, like if you were drawing something like this, I mean, you can see that it's creating higher highs, higher lows. So this reclaim of the 5-minute opening range, and maybe this something like this, and looking for, well, actually looking for 642 or 642 for 14, just, you know, like the 15-minute chart key level. All right, that was a super nice trade. Actually, right here, depending on how you position your stop loss, it was a 1 to 3, at least 1 to 3 risk reward rate to trade. That was really nice. But then what happened here? Okay. Well, first, let me go to the chat. Anyone has a question about how this long position was taken, or how it was, you know, like what is the reasoning there? No. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think this is super clear, right? This is super clear. And even like maybe you were looking for, you know, like this area here. That was the break and retest. Anyways, just the reclaim of the previous day high, pre-market high. I really like it. All right. But then we hit the daily gap. And what happened here? First reaction here, second reaction here. All right, second reaction here. What happened here, guys? In my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I know. This was rejecting hard this area here. So for me, this was the start of the momentum. Then we broke this previous support. We used it as resistance, and we started dropping, right? So I opened my position right here. It was 10-12 candle. I know many of you took this first trade. And guys, I think it was a valid trade. I mean, look at this. It was break, displacement, retest of this local low or pivot low. Then you had this nice rejection. And for being honest, I thought that this could go places, but it just didn't. Chucky, I was looking at your first setup, but the up candle happened so quickly, it was hard. The calls, this one here, yeah, this was an aggressive candle, right? Right? But going back to shorts, all right? All right. So guys, here, what was your invalidation level, Neto? Well, my invalidation level was actually this 642.15, or let's say 642, something like here. For some reason, guys, my loss was actually very small, and I want to show you, because I was actually trying to identify that. This was this one here. Yeah, this one here. I took a loss here. It was like 20% here. Right? Neto, you never show your losses. Well, here it is. It doesn't look exactly like this because this is a screenshot from a video, because I'm not taking screenshots when price is going against me. So I started recording a video or a screen recording, and then I took this. So I took this loss here. All right, 20%. And why this is relevant? Because look at this. This is 641.36. That was my entry, and my stop loss is 642.14. All right, Neto, what is the difference here? Well, it's 80 cents instead of 50 cents as usual. All right. So that's one of the reasons I took my stop loss all the way to here, and maybe not something like here, or maybe not something like here, like 641.80 or something like that. I was comfortable with the risk. I was comfortable with the risk because in my mind, this trade or this price action will keep rejecting this daily gap. So because that was my idea, because that was my thesis, I didn't give up here. I took my loss here, 20%. Neto, that's a lot. Well, sometimes it's a lot, but for the win rate that I have for my setup and the average risk reward that I have for my trades, I'm comfortable taking 20% stop loss. All right. And this is really important, guys, because you should not be copying the risk model from other trader. All right. You should be having your own system to identify how much of a risk you can take. Right. How much of a risk. Neto, the one thing here is that if you take your trade here, your risk is just too much. You don't take the trade. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you don't take the trade. Or Neto, I only have $1 amount to risk every day, and this risk looks like too much for me. Maybe you downsize. I mean, if you have, like some sort of conviction on this trade, just think the risk is just too much. You can actually downsize and have the same invalidation level. And if for some reason price touches your stop loss, you will be fine because you already agreed to risk $1 amount, right? So those are just a few strategies to create your own risk model, your own risk management strategy. And that's as important. Having a risk management strategy, it's as important as having a good system to identify the setups, all right? Because the only certainty in the market is that you are taking losses, all right? Everything else, it's uncertain, all right? So the only thing that you can actually control is how much you are willing to risk, how much you are willing to lose on a trade in order to confirm your trade, to confirm your idea, and demonstrate that you were right, all right? So if you feel comfortable with $1 amount, go for it. Build your risk management strategy around it and play with it. All right, play with it, test it. Forward test it. So I took my trade here. I took my loss right here. That's fine. That's fine. For real, guys. That's fine. But what happened later? Okay, what happened later? I'm gonna take this out. Okay, what happened later? We bounced here, or we rejected the daily gap. We were actually creating a lower high. So in my mind, in my idea, this trade was still valid, right? I just didn't want to take as much risk as all the way to here, right? Because right here it will be, I don't know, maybe 30 something percent, and that's something that I'm not comfortable, risking, right? Especially on this kind of market. All right. So what happened here? Well, I took my loss. I accepted it because the moment I pulled the trigger to take my entry, I already accepted my risk, right? So that's why it was easy for me to take my loss, because I already agreed to lose that money. All right. So, okay. So here, guys, okay. So we created a lower high. All right. We created a lower high. Price started rejecting exactly where I thought, exactly where my plan told me. All right. So now what was expecting here? Okay, well, I was expecting a few things. All right, if price created a lower high, well, what happened next? Well, for me, in my mind, the next step, it's a lower low, right? It's a lower low. So failing to create new highs, momentum to the downside with these 3-4 candles, market structure confirming the move. I took the same entry here. I took the same entry here around 641.37 or 641 something. I took the same entry here. All right, Neto, but you can wait a few candles for the retest. Yeah, but because this was a reclaim of the level, sometimes, or most of the times, I don't wait for a retest because many times price never comes back for the retest. So once we reclaim this price level, I took another position, right? I took another position, same size, same conviction, same system, same stop loss, same everything, right? Same plan. So I started taking profits, right like my other plan, right like my first plan. So I took profits on the break of previous day high. And then I took more profits on the break of the 5-minute opening high. And then I took more profits on these pushes. And then I took way more. Actually, here I kind of depleted my something like here. And I closed my position on this candle here, right? When this candle went above this this area here. So Neto, but you were tilt? No, I wasn't. Neto, you were biased? No, I wasn't. Neto, you were scared? No, I wasn't. Neto, did you take your scales more aggressively? No, I didn't. Why? Because this was my original plan. And I didn't let the first outcome of my trade to bias or to affect my next execution. All right. So I just want to confirm in the chat, guys. Are we clear how we should play our trades individually, so we don't take decisions based on the previous trades? Because this was a loss, guys. This was a loss. So I could be trying to take profits more aggressively or something. But what happened if I take a huge win? And now my conviction is up because, like I own the market. I completely own SPY. So I take a more aggressive trade, and sometimes you just end giving back your profits, right? When you don't wait for the retest, I never wait for the retest on the 84% rules or reclaims of levels, all right? End of the day, small green, following the system with intention makes the difference, as you said. Yeah, thank you, Alex. Thank you. All right, so now, guys, it's your time to brag. Who took these trades or who took a different trade here? Let me know in the chat. Brax, Neto, I have started copying the levels in the chart you post in your website before market open. Would like to ask, what is the difference between the blue lines and the white lines in your charts? Okay, that's an easy one. The blue lines are the previous day's highs and lows. All right. If I go to the daily chart, you will see. Oh. If I go to the daily chart, you will see they are previous highs and lows, and like a higher highs and lower lows here. Do you see? And the white lines, those are key levels on the 15-minute chart. So that's the only difference. Blue lines are key levels from the daily chart, higher highs and lower lows, and the white lines are key levels on the 15-minute chart. Okay. Joanna, can you explain why, in your opinion, the first trade did not work as expected? Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, just didn't. I mean, remember, Joanna, sometimes there's no explanation for price, right? I mean, once you take a trade, there you need to accept the uncertainty of the outcome and the result and the market, right? I mean, why it didn't work? Well, I don't know. Like, maybe I don't know. Like, it needed, like, it came back for this liquidity here, and it was enough to push it higher. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. For me, it was looking good. It was looking good, but it just didn't work. So sometimes it just doesn't work, right? Uh, yes, trading is a game of probability. Randall, spike calls 958. 958 here. That was a good trade, Randall. That was a good trade. Just the one thing here is, remember the daily gaps. You want to play the daily gaps once price is inside and reclaiming. Yeah, this was just like too strong of a supply to take it. That was my opinion, right? Okay, and SPY puts 1045 here. That was a good trade. That was a really good trade. The break, displacement, retest. Well, not actual displacement, but like the break and retest of the previous day high, immediate retest of the previous day high. That's something I like. Kumar, can you please talk about how the liquidity is coming in play around the previous day high and I talked about liquidity a few days ago. Liquidity. Kumar, this is for you. I pasted. This is the link for March the 17th. We talk a lot about liquidity. I think that's a good video to watch. All right. If you still have questions, please don't hesitate to send them to me here on this video or on my email. Please don't send them on the Discord, all right? Because I'm not paying too much attention to the Discord on the afternoons. So it's going to be easier and better if you send me your questions on that video or on an email. My email is neto@tradingperformancecoach.com. All right. Okay. All right. SPY puts 1245. Guys, what are you doing? 1245. Oh my. Wow. Seke. Is Seke for Ezequiel? No? What is your real name? Seki? I have a good friend back in hometown. Sig. Okay, Sig. All right. His name is Ezequiel, and we call him Cheque or Seke. All right. So, brother, that's just my opinion, but two things. 1245, it's completely out of my system, so I'm not sure if I can give you like good responses here. But after this huge move, I will be waiting for clear price action. And this pullback, that's not clear price action. I mean, this pullback easily could go higher and higher and higher. And I think this is still, like chasing the news. This is still chasing the news. So, do I like this trade? I really don't. Just because huge move based on news, and this is still part of this move, this news move. So I don't trade the news. Kumar, I feel like I understand liquidity for one scenario, then it doesn't look the same for another scenario. No, that video is gonna change things. I think, yeah, I really like that video, and that was not a liquidity lesson. It was just like a liquidity explanation on a single day. So, but you are gonna like it. I actually shared this video with a few traders, and they like it a lot. They like it even more, like, like some of the trainings that we have in the past. All right. Mr. Hans, Neto, why didn't you take puts at 1020? 1020 here? Well, because now I needed a price to actually go lower this. But yeah, no, why I didn't take it? Well, I don't know. Like, I mean, I have it clear in my mind. I just don't know how to verbalize. But right here, I needed one of the things here, Mr. Hans. First, or we broke this support, or we have momentum to the downside. So I think none of those happen here, right? None of those happen here. Even with this candle here, 1021, I was actually watching this candle and I was like, oh, come on. I mean, maybe I could enter here. But then I saw how it started going higher, and I said, like, okay, well, this needs more momentum to the downside. It needs more, like a more aggressive push. So I actually just waited for this rejection. Just as I told you, once you go to one of the edges of a daily gap, you need a lot of strength to actually go into it. So just as I was explaining for Randall on the trade he took here, the problem that I see here, it's exactly that this supply was super high. It's super strong. So for me to be interested, in something here, it needed to do something like this, rejected the edge, and having continuation to the upside. But this is just trying to get the breakout. Right. I mean, if you bought here, but if you tried from here, that was a good try. I mean, that was a good try. It just didn't work, right? Because that was a nice break, displacement retest of this resistance, now turning to support. Yeah, this actually looked really nice. Just this supply was very close to here, and it was so strong, so it just didn't work. Right. Joseph, Mass 1041. 1041 here. Okay. I see what you did. Well, and listen to these guys. When you are trading futures, this is the kind of trade that you like, right? The breakouts. Actually, not sure if I ever told you, but when I'm trading the futures account, I like more the breakouts than the break and retest. Why? Because I mean, you your risk is very controlled, right? Your risk is very controlled. Now you are just waiting for the invalidation to actually go out of that trade, but you are not playing against the Greeks, right? There's no expiration of that. So yeah, that's just something that I like. So yeah, I like that for futures. That's the one trade that I like, Joseph. All right, guys. Do you have any other question about SPY? Because I don't have any other chart for you today, guys. I had a busy morning, and I have a busy afternoon. So did you continue paper trading? Yeah, I'm still on the demo account. I'm still on the demo account. Yeah, but I don't use it too much. I don't use it too much. Um, Good job, Erin. Good job. Mr. Hans, wouldn't 1040 or 1041? 1040, 1041. Yes, they are a retest. I mean, just as I said, I mean, usually price never come back for a retest on the reclaim, but I mean this time it happened. Yeah, actually, yeah. If you took 1040, 1041, they actually work better, right? They actually work better. But right here, Mr. Hans, the main idea here was, it was exactly the same trade than the first one. So I just actually copied this short position tool to my entry here, and nothing changed. Not my stop loss, not my targets. All right. Hello, Dream. Hello, Ted. Hello, Anne. Ended the month green. Congratulations, Anne. Congratulations. I'm really proud of you. I know you have been crawling your way to this moment. Congratulations, Anne. Hello, Jeff. Dream SPY was showing strength, and how you convinced to take puts today. Well, again, guys, I'm just reading the price action. I was expecting some rejection here on the daily gap, and I just waited, the price to move stronger to the downside, looking for liquidity. How you look for liquidity? How you look for liquidity? Because I'm trading on the 1 minute, I'm just looking for the intraday liquidity. So as you can see here, it was not hard to find the liquidities here, right? Liquidities here. Even for taking calls here, I think, can you see here? After all these resistance, break of resistance, use a support, and go, right? So that was really easy. That was really easy. All right. You're very welcome. So guys, just remember, Monday, announcements, surprises, value for the community. All right. See you in the morning. Trading plans. See you tomorrow afternoon. Trade reviews. Remember, if you have a question or something, if you want, I left a link to the liquidity video here in the chat. If you have questions about video, please send the questions on that video. Guys, if you have ever left a message on YouTube, I always reply. So leave your questions on that video, or send me an email, Neto at Trading Performance Coach. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.